to that.
This is really the only avenue we have at this time.
Right now, the Village of Oregon is looking to raise the property tax levy, what the increase could mean for residents.
A daring and very uncommon rescue. I'll have more on the unique response that went into the apartment fire on Monday in Madison just ahead.
And the man charged in the death of a Sun Prairie woman back in court today, how he pleaded to those charges. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson.
It's not a new question for local municipalities all across Dane County, but the effort to raise the property tax levy has moved to the Village of Oregon.
Our Ellie LaLiberte was at the first information session today, and she breaks down what the increase could mean for residents.
This is the first informational session for that operational referendum. City officials are hoping to encourage voters to check yes on their April 1st ballot. But what would that yes mean for your wallet?
It's important for the village and for us as residents.
Marilyn Rubman is involved in her community, which is why she showed up here.
I'm thinking about it, and I think a lot of people should be here because they should be thinking about it.
To learn about why the Village of Oregon is asking her to pay more taxes.
The village's finances are strained.
Out of options. That's why on April 1st, voters will decide whether or not to permanently raise the property tax levy by nearly $2 million.
This is really the only avenue we have at this time.
Philip Van Kampen is the village board president. For the average $430,000 home, the tax impact is roughly $430 a year, or roughly $36 a month. So what would that buy residents?
3 police officers, 3 public works workers, 2 full-time library, and some part-time staff.
It would also boost wages for other employees and help with facility maintenance. But what about if it's not approved?
Perhaps a reduced hours at the library, reduced hours at the village hall, less frequent mowing in the village parks, less frequent brush pickup, less frequent leaf pickup, and actually fewer officers on the street.
Van Kampen says the need for more staff is because of the fast population growth, inflation, and the maximum amount the state gives to municipalities.
And the village is just not able to keep up because of the revenue limits.
The decision now in the hands of residents like Marilyn. And in case you missed this informational session, there will be another one on March 4th at 6:30 at the Village Hall. Reporting in Oregon, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. And if voters approve the referendum, residents would see their increase on their December 2025 property tax bill.
The man charged with killing a Sun Prairie woman will go to trial before a jury. 23-year-old Gerson Blasnoe stood silent this morning while the court entered 3 not guilty pleas on his behalf. He is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, giving false information about a kidnapped person to police, and hiding a corpse. Those charges stem from the death of 27-year-old Isamar Valverde Ponce of Sun Prairie last month. Now, Valverde Ponce's sister reported her missing January 12th. She told police Valverde Ponce left a gathering the night before with a friend who was later revealed to be Blasnoe. Police say he lied and ran away when they tried to question him. He eventually arrested him, and Valverde Ponce's body was found on the 14th in a field. He's now awaiting his next court date from jail, being held on an $800,000 bond. His pretrial conference scheduled for April 28th.
The owner of Tyrol Basin is facing charges for allegedly attacking a teenager who was on the ski hill without a pass. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says deputies arrested Nathaniel McGree for disorderly conduct and physical abuse of a child. Deputies responded in the town of Vermont last night after a caller said they'd found a distraught teen walking down the road. Deputies talked to the teenager, a 17-year-old boy, who admitted to going to the hill without buying a pass. Now, the staff says the teenager did leave after they asked him to. That's when the ski hill's owner, Nathaniel McGree, allegedly, along with another staff member, followed and physically assaulted him. McGree also allegedly demanded the teen return to the ski hill and pay $120, which is double the amount of a pass.
The search for McFarland's next chief of police is now down to 4 finalists. They're Lieutenant Aaron Walker with the UW Green Bay Police Department, Village of Cross Plains Chief Antonio Ruzga Jr., Lieutenant Jeremy Hatfield is with the Verona PD, and Zachary Roberts is a patrol lieutenant for the Adams County Sheriff's Office. The 4 candidates will take part in a community listening session that's to be held March 3rd at the McFarland Municipal Municipal Center Community Room. We turn to the weather now. The temps are staying warm. Blaze Keller out on the patio with your first warn forecast. Blaze?
That's right. We were into the 50s today. We're still in the 40s right now, and we're going to be back into the 50s, it looks like, as we end our work week and end the month of February. Overnight tonight, clouds are going to move back in, as well as a chance for some rain, some light snow, mainly north of the Dells, and possibly a few rumbles of thunder further south as our Clipper system moves through the heart of the News 3 Now coverage area. That rain will wrap up as we go later into your morning hours, and we should remain dry through most of the afternoon on Wednesday before that rain-snow mix returns later Wednesday afternoon, overnight, and then into early Thursday. Here's a look at those current temperatures. 39 in Lone Rock. We're the coolest across the area. 43 in Madison, 46 Platteville, 45 in Janesville. It's 46 in Cross Plains and 44 in Deerfield. So we're going to be doing a lot of melting here over the next few hours and into your Wednesday, your Thursday, and further into your Friday. Our snowpack has pretty much disappeared here across central and southern Wisconsin. Now you have to go up to about Green Bay to finally get some snow back on the ground because of these warm temperatures. Mid-30s tonight with that rain, that snow, and even that light thunder chance tonight. We're going to time out the warmth that's going to stick around throughout the rest of this week, as well as talk about two other systems and how they'll impact us in the full forecast.
All right, thank you, Blaze. Atwood Avenue in Madison is back open after crews responded to a fire at Kip Corporation. Just before 11 o'clock this morning, a caller reported a fire on the roof, and everyone evacuated that building. Now, the area between Fair Oaks Avenue and Miller Avenue was briefly closed down while crews worked to contain the fire. Officials say it may have involved some liquid aluminum, which is used for die casting, but that has not been officially confirmed.
And Madison fire crews were also able to prevent a small fire from becoming much worse. Early this morning, firefighters called to a multifamily complex. This was in the 4,000 block of Manchester Road on the west side of Madison. Just before 4 this morning, there was no sign of fire from outside, but smoke did fill the inside. Crews discovered a stack of papers on top of the furnace were on fire. It was quickly put out, damage kept to a minimum. No injuries were reported.
Well, today's fire at Kip Corp was the second where Madison crews say they had to respond in a common way.
Yeah, they demonstrated to our Armand Rahman a unique type of rescue in an apartment fire yesterday, why it could have been the difference between life and death.
To us, it may seem like second nature for a firefighter to do this, but the response completely changes when they're on scene and they hear
victims trapped.
I guess it's more like a split-second decision.
Firefighter Jared Clifford and the rest of his crew from Station 4 had seconds to act when their lieutenant inspected the scene of the apartment fire on Taft Street Monday.
There were 4 other people that needed help out of the building, so I yelled back to our 2 firefighters, hey, grab a ladder, we're going to rescue.
They grabbed the 24-foot ladder and prepared for what is called a bailout rescue.
We saw one individual hanging out the window, got him passed to another firefighter, firefighter Harms. I continued inside where we found a second individual who was laying on a couch.
Firefighters literally slide the person down perpendicular to the ladder. That way, if they're moving too much or are combative, they can squeeze and lock them on the ladder until they calm down.
You have to keep in mind like what the conditions are, where the fire is, how that individual is doing.
Officials say it's not common.
I know a lot of people don't experience these throughout their careers.
It's only done when victims need extra assistance or the situation itself is extra dangerous.
It was difficult to breathe if you didn't have an air pack on, so we worked as fast as we could to get those individuals out.
Clifford rescued 2 people while Engine 6's crew helped another 2. His lieutenant says the victims would have been in a much worse shape today if they were left there any longer.
I'm glad it went the way that it did.
The cause of the apartment fire is still under investigation. Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
And 8 people in all were displaced in that apartment fire. And still ahead on News 3 Now at 6. Sun Prairie East High School appoints a new principal.
Plus, a Madison elementary school chooses a new name. The story behind the person it honors. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
And Sun Prairie East High School has a new principal. This after former principal Renee Coleman resigned back in October. Jim Ertl has been serving as interim principal since Coleman's resignation, but now will lead the school on a permanent basis. He's been on staff at East since 2010. He was named Dean of Students in 2016. Most recently served as the Associate Director of Athletics and Activities.
Still ahead, the Dane County Humane Society helps out dozens of animals in danger of being put down.
Plus, with the rising prices of eggs and all the shortages out there, how some local restaurants and retailers are taking action.
And could we be in for more rain later tonight? Blaze is back with the forecast after this.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Dozens of pets from the southern part of our country are getting a second chance here in Wisconsin. Today, the Dane County Humane Society participated in its 11th transfer of rescue pets this month. More than 100 healthy dogs and cats who were in danger of being put down arrived in Madison this morning. Aw, look at the puppies. They came from shelters in Georgia and Alabama where an overcrowding is a major issue. Luckily, Wisconsin remains one of the states that can handle an influx of pets.
We're pretty fortunate, it might not sound that way, but to have the winter in Wisconsin does mean we have one less breeding season in general.
So of the 110 pets brought today, 40 will remain in Dane County, split between Angel's Wish and the Humane Society. Veterinarians will be taking a look at every pet flown in to determine when they are ready for adoption.
Denny's is adding an egg surcharge at some of its locations. That's due to the egg shortage and also the higher prices. The diner chain declined to specify the exact amount of that surcharge, but in a statement it said pricing decisions are being made restaurant by restaurant. Denny's isn't the only restaurant attempting to cope with the egg supply shortage. Waffle House also recently added a 50-cent price hike for meals that include eggs. Major U.S. retailers, including Costco and Trader Joe's, have all had to take action as well, imposing limits on how many eggs each customer can buy.
Well, the Spirit of Service campaign is well underway as we honor our local veterans, making a positive impact in the community. News 3 Now is partnering with Vortex. Now, all you have to do is log on to channel3000.com and nominate a veteran in your life who is doing something good. We'll be sharing their stories, and then you get to vote and choose which veteran gets to take home a $5,000 cash prize. The winner will be announced in early April.
Well, we're sitting rather mild right now when it comes to our temperature, but some unsettled weather is on the way later in the week. Blaze has the complete forecast.
That's right. It has been an active end to February. We've got a couple clipper systems moving on through. The first one tonight could bring us rain, snow, mostly rain, as well as a few rumbles of thunder as well. Wednesday, that same system begins to exit. As it does, it's going to bring back that chance for more of a rain-snow mix later Wednesday night into early Thursday. But it does look like we're staying on the warmer side to end your work week. That clipper system is going to move out of the Dakotas as we go overnight, bringing us more clouds as we go further into your Tuesday night into Wednesday. No sooner than probably midnight onwards will we start to see that rain beginning to fall. Further north, you're going to have the better chance for some snowflakes mixing in with that rain, but primarily it's going to be rain tonight. Wednesday, we do get a break from the precipitation, and then into the afternoon, overnight into early Thursday, as cooler air is pulled on down. Some of that rain will turn over to a light snow flurries with minimal to no accumulations because we're going to warm right back up into those mid-40s as we go into your Thursday afternoon. Clouds will clear on out of here before Friday's system moves on in. This is the system that we've been tracking. This was the one that may have brought us some snow, but it continues to remain off to our northeast. Now, why could we hear a few rumbles of thunder tonight? It's all because the center of this next clipper is moving overhead. It is cutting through our coverage area as we go overnight into early Wednesday. It's just going to take that energy that it needs to push essentially the air from the surface up through the atmosphere, creating what we call a robust updraft, having those ice crystals move around the atmosphere, bouncing off each other, building up a little bit of a charge, and then we may see a flash of lightning as well as a clap of thunder. We're not expecting any severe weather, but this is essentially how you also get thunder snow. When we get some of those stronger systems moving through the area in the heart of winter, we really look for those robust updrafts to get some lightning signatures during those heavy snowfalls. That's why we do have this general thunderstorm threat as we go overnight into the start of your Wednesday. Not expecting anything severe because there's truly no energy in the atmosphere for this system to use. It's just the center of low pressure, just picking up that air at the surface, and throwing it up, causing maybe a weak thunderstorm. Friday's system continues to push off towards the northeast. This is good for folks who want to stay warm. This is bad for folks who wanted some snow to end February. The further northeast it stays, not only will we see the moisture stay off to the northeast, but southerly winds are going to push our temperatures back up into those 40s, if not the low 50s, to end the work week. If that system was further south, we wouldn't have as much of those southerly winds. We'd have that chance for a wintry mix. But as we kick off March, Saturday and Sunday will be slightly cooler than where we were on Friday, but we were back into those 40s as we go into Monday, Tuesday, as another system potentially looks to come out of the deep south. And what a month it has been. It started off warmer than average, and then pretty much the middle 2 weeks of February, except for the 15th, every single day was cooler than average, especially when we had those single digits. But it looks like we're going to be ending the month on the warm side. But from the start of the month through yesterday's date, we're still about 3 degrees cooler than where we should be for this time in the month. 40s tomorrow, mostly cloudy conditions, a chance for mainly light rain in the morning, a break in the afternoon, and then that light rain snow mix as we end your Wednesday going into Thursday. There is a look at your extended forecast, a quiet start to March with mid-30s and plenty of sunshine Saturday and Sunday, with a chance for another rain snow mix type event Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
And coming up in sports, it's playoff time for the Wisconsin women's hockey team. How they're approaching the postseason is next on News 3 Now. Saturday was the first time all season Wisconsin men's basketball didn't look like the team we've seen all year. 17 turnovers doomed the Badgers as Greg Gard saw a 17-point lead turn into a 14-point overtime loss. The good news, they have a very good chance to bounce back with Washington in town tonight, the worst team in the Big Ten. And it also helps that this group is an older, more mature team.
I think just every game in the Big Ten is going to be difficult, no matter how you look at it. So we just have the mentality to attack every day with a focus and not really get caught up in how the season is going and what things may look like.
Having guys that have a lot of experience really helps in these situations, and keep going back to it. Like John said, we're going to learn from it tomorrow, watch the film, and get right back to practice.
And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Kamari McGee stops by to talk all things Badger hoops, including making the case for John Tonje to be named the Big Ten Player of the Year. Show airs on Friday at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. Fresh off sweeping Bemidji State, the Wisconsin women's hockey team now turns their attention to Bemidji State. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 straight weeks against the Beavers, except this series is a little different. It's win or go home now. The Badgers have officially entered the postseason, and Mark Johnson's squad isn't taking anything for granted as they prepare for a best-of-3 first round of the WCHA tournament.
It's do or die now. These are games you have to win. You have to be on top of your game 100% of the time. Like, you can't take a shift off because one goal could be the end of your season.
It's a 2-week season, and so your focus becomes in, what this weekend presents to you. And so it's, Friday night at 7 o'clock, and that's my whole thought process.
I think they'll be okay against Bemidji State.
You always get the sense they'll show up this time of the year. All right, Blaze, final check of the forecast.
Chance for a few rumbles of thunder later into your night, into early Wednesday, but otherwise we get a break from the rain-snow mix during the morning, during the afternoon hours after the morning mess moves on through, and then a light rain-snow mix to end your Wednesday going into early Thursday. 50s to end our work week. Will be slightly cooler, but at least quiet with sunny conditions, welcoming in March like a lamb, and hopefully it stays that way.
I'll take it. I love the look of that Friday.
It does look really nice. Yeah, it was looking like it could have been more snow, but then we just pushed it northeast.
All right.
Just keep pushing it.
Thanks, Blaze.
Blaze, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.